How's it going, people? Hey, hey,
Bad Bunny, Monaco, love it.
is this guy speaking English?
No.
Where's he from? Who's he from? Is this from the continent? India or? Oh, sorry, Coco.
Sure. I'm not quite sure, buddy.
Sounds possibly
Spanish?
Indian or Persian. Spanish?
I need to learn more.
Did you go out today? No.
Nah, bro.
No.
I'm gonna rest today.
Rest day, house day, chill day.
Rest day. Coffee day.
Nice. Yeah, you can smell the coffee. It smells good.
Weather's amazing today.
Yeah, so hot, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting about that article about Blackrock, eh?
I didn't read it. What did it say?
Saying how
Oh, my-
Larry Fink, they're saying,
Right.
Larry Fink was saying that he's going to rebuild LA as a smart city.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take 12 years, he thinks, to rebuild what was burnt down.
How does
And-
he even know that? And why does he even know that?
He seems to take an interest in these things. Like a lot of...
Bit soon, I say. Bit soon.
yeah. Yeah,
Like,
it's
little
pretty
bit
fast,
soon. Like, it
pretty
hasn't,
fast.
like,
yeah.
the flames haven't even died down yet, and he's like, oh, we're gonna rebuild it. Well, huh?
Yeah,
Bit soon.
yeah.
Bit psychopathic.
Yeah, it makes you think there's a bit of a coincidence, potentially, eh?
Hmm.
Possibly. You'd hope not, but...
Well,
You
all
know?
of those insurance companies cancelling everyone's insurance. Like,
Yeah,
makes you think.
because the government is talking about, doing certain things over there in America to help people, and BlackRock has a lot of money, so, like, I know that the US Army kind of contracts out to BlackRock, and BlackRock has all their military, tanks and helicopters and things.
Right.
Most of that's owned by BlackRock, so there's a very, very close relationship between the company and the government, which seems like that's going to play out in LA, like between the federal government, local government, and BlackRock,
Right.
to
Interesting.
establish some sort of, technological new type of city borough type thing where everything's facial recognition, data harvesting, smart car. They just harvest all your data. Yeah, because it's not like that at the moment, but it's opening up the door to that. The fires presented an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, just like COVID.
Yeah, just like COVID.
It's
But
a
we have
bit-
to seize this emergency opportunity.
It's a bit like, I'm still not over Hawaii. Like, I'm not actually over it. Like, in,
Yeah, well, that's exactly the same thing, bro. Because Hawaii's going to be the one of the first smart cities, and so it got burnt, and
yeah,
now
I know,
they're building.
I know. And then they stepped in and they cornered off the whole thing, so people couldn't get in, couldn't see what they were doing, and just like really overstepping general public access to things. And
Yeah,
then-
definitely. Because
Yeah, and so I mean the fact that this guy, what's his name, Fink,
yeah,
is,
Larry Fink, I think.
is saying that they're going to rebuild and it hasn't even finished is a bit sus, because like, why would he even be saying that after, when the disaster hasn't even finished yet? And
Yeah.
it says to me, because they were looking at that governor, what's his name, that Newsom guy.
Oh yeah, Newsom.
They
Yeah.
were saying, like, the psychology guy on YouTube was
Yeah.
looking at his body language,
Oh,
and
really?
he had like Duper's delight, where you like
Ooh.
you're smiling and you're happy about things in
Really?
the middle of an absolute crisis that people are dying in, and it just seems to me like, if this is a coordinated attack,
Yeah.
that these people have been planning it for a long time,
Yeah.
are kind of impatient at this point
Yeah.
Like we're all just witnessing it, and everyone in LA's having it happen to them. But if you had been pre-planning it for like a couple of years beforehand, if you were a psychopath, you'd be a little bit like, oh, let's do it now. You know what I mean? Like, you know how people who are planning things, like generally, you know about something before other people, and you're like, and then you're like, oh, let's go. I feel like that guy's kind of saying that, like, it's way too early to say it, and the fact that there's kind of government people like walking around thinking this is funny, and insurance companies taking insurance away like 2 days before people's houses burn down, is like, says to me that if it was planned, that's why they're acting like this, because they've known about it before other people, that's why they're kind of psychopathic bureaucratically saying, all right, well, we just need to tick this off now, and then we can rebuild everything and make smart cities and stuff. And so, well, why is that even a thing right now? Like, how are you even talking about that right now if you haven't already planned stuff?
Yeah, I think.
So it's just like, it's weird to me, and it's slightly psychopathic.
Well, I've got a question for you. Do you think it's psychopathic, or do you think it's sociopathic? And you know what would the difference be?
What would the difference be?
What's the difference?
The sociopaths have absolutely.
Do you have any experience?
Yeah. The psychopaths have no real ups and downs in their emotions.
So they can be.
They're pretty flat about it.
Yeah, they're pretty. And what else? How would you?
Out of tune with everyone else's emotions at the time. So you know.
And how does that translate, though?
Well, you could look at the Newsom guy and think, well, he's getting duper's delight from it. So you could possibly say that's more of a sociopathic.
Right, some sort of emotional investment.
Because he's kind of excited about it, you know. Whereas psychopaths, they're not really excited. They're just like
pretty
whatever,
blank.
and they just go about what they're doing. They don't need that like supply of it.
I totally. Because I've heard that like sociopaths are less effective and less like methodical, and like you said, like they reveal themselves, and they can't operate as effectively as psychopaths. Like obviously you hear about that. Like when you think, oh, it's a psychopath, you know, it's like there's a certain level of, unfortunately, respect with how they operate, though they do bad things. Where sociopaths, they're a bit more human, a bit more messy, and so with Larry Fink kind of. Letting the cat out of the bag. Do you think that's so? That's why I'm asking. Is it sociopathic or psychopathic?
I'd say he's psychopathic because he just he's got no clue as to the correct emotional response to something like this. Like he's just like, he's like basically acting like nothing's happened and that they're gonna rebuild. Like no one's died.
Right, that's like tone deaf, eh?
Completely.
Yeah.
Whereas the Newsom guy is like getting off on it. Yeah. And that's more of a sociopathic kind of duper's delight, kind of got away with it. Yeah. Happy about it, getting into it. Whereas the Fink guy is completely devoid of what a normal person would think. Like everybody's absolutely shattered. Their whole lives are gone. Yeah. And he just wants to rebuild. Who's given him permission to even discuss that or say that, or why would that even be on the cards when the embers haven't even...
Well, he's got the money. Blackrock has the money. That's the only reason I think they do it. Like, they've got the money and they want to invest that money to have the power over everyone. Because, what can be more powerful than if you rebuild it? But he doesn't have permission.
Too soon.
That's just my thinking.
All I'm saying is it's too soon. It's too soon because the disaster's still going. It's still burning. And the fact that he's saying that kind of thing is completely off bat. Well,
I'll put this to you. Do you think that he's kind of like...
He's not thinking about the people who are currently surviving...
Yeah. I'll tell you how...
The situation.
Yeah,
that is the number one priority, is looking after people on the ground.
Yeah, he's not a boots on the ground type of guy.
But a psychopath is like, we're going to rebuild. That's got nothing to do with humans being helped. Yeah. That's just buildings. So that's not people's homes.
And so my question is, if that's the case, but he seems to be quite heavily invested in this issue, because he's like kind of running his mouth off and offering these press releases. So I've got a kind of sad question to put to you. Do you think that possibly Blackrock has actually invested a lot of money in this operation to burn down LA? And so he's trying to kind of, because like he needs a return on this investment potentially if that was the case. That he did that. They ran an operation to burn it down. And so because like,
It gets into heavy
because
corruption
the
level.
demolition stuff is, that's kind of a cost where if you can rebuild back and control everything, invest your money, get control of everything, then you get your return.
Well-
So it seems like he's kind of pushing for the return.
Well, for instance,
The second step of the operation,
on a small scale,
which would point to Blackrock possibly having conducted that operation.
Well, see, this-
And that ties back to my original point, that they are an army operating military complex. Just saying, they had I think they had the majority of contracts in Iraq,
well, here's my point:
and they got a lot of money.
on a small scale, developers if they don't like structures there because they want to build more. It's common for people to burn things accidentally
it
burn
is.
things down
Yeah,
in order to
the Chow brothers didn't they?
have their new projects made because it's extra cheaper for them,
Yeah,
easier. I mean, just around the
it's
corner.
the land they want,
Just
darling?
around the corner. Well, it just depends what their plan is. But just around the corner, we had this massive church that they were going to redo, and at the back of it was a massive hall, and there was some kind of dispute over the land or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it burnt down.
Exactly,
overnight,
I remember that 100%, bro.
Yeah.
But sad, it's quite a nice church.
Well, no, the big building's still there.
Yeah.
What they wanted is still there, ironically.
Oh, they burnt down the small building, the kind of like
Yeah.
lesser building behind
Yeah,
it.
and so all my
The
point
meeting-
is just
church
like
meeting house
if
thing.
it was that kind of situation
Yeah.
and there was a plan for development and a smart city before this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Burning stuff down is quite a common developer mindset,
Yeah.
psychopathic developer mindset that
Driven by.
instead of demolishing, which is quite expensive, demolishing buildings is quite expensive.
Yeah, right.
Taking
right.
them down bit by bit.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
something burning to the ground is like.
Yeah, well, $170 billion or something was destroyed in LA. How much does it cost to demolish that?
That's what
When
I'm saying.
people own it to begin
That's
with,
what I'm saying.
you're looking at $170 billion, if not like
And
much
but
more.
not to mention the ethical dilemma
Exactly.
that those are people's
Yeah.
homes, people's lives.
By times that by 2.
Humans'
That's
homes.
300 billion.
Humans'
Hey.
homes who own those homes, freehold, you're less likely
Yeah.
to be even able to get them off the land because of law.
Yeah, yeah.
And so burning things down and all that kind of stuff is quite kind of like a
Near
common
impossible.
mindset on a small scale
Yeah.
for developers, I would say,
Yeah.
in order to get around the red tape, the people, the demolishment, and
The bureaucratic approval.
yeah. Well, anyway, so I just think when you look at the Hawaii one, which I'm still not over, just getting people off that land
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
extremely hard
Yeah,
to do.
it's exactly the same.
Because
Because
what-
it's extremely valuable land, yeah?
and also
They're
it's
both extremely
tied to
valuable.
Indigenous people's rights to their land, which
Yeah.
also in the Pacific Islands and stuff is intrinsically collective, so it's really hard to get it off
Yeah.
them unless they dupe them, which has been going on for centuries in the islands. And a lot of them.
Yeah, we're just filming on it. For a second.
Yeah.
We're just filming on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so in the Pacific Islands, it's been like notorious for, certain companies and Westerners to take land off Pacifica people
Sweet.
who are on the land. Anyway, so
Yeah. We'll finish up. It's 15 minutes. Any
Yeah.
closing words, darling?
I know I'm really sad about it, and if it is,
Yeah.
if
It's affected people we know personally very deeply.
if it is
It's
to
not
do with big
Thinking of
corporations and Blackrock, I think it's really, really bad. for
You'd hope
everyone.
it's not the case, but it's helpful to
Well,
think about
people
possible.
are talking about it.
reasons,
People
yeah.
are talking about it.
Yeah, well, it's in
and-
the news. They put their name out there.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, Blackrock's not that popular.
No, it's not popular at all. They're working on the brain chips too.
And anyway, this was just thinkings anyway. It wasn't.
So you probably have a
Wasn't
brain
exactly.
chip once they've rebuilt this place. wouldn't surprise me if in LA, in that area, you need a brain chip as well, because it's all about data harvesting. But, we'll see when they roll that out. Might line up.
I think the thing is that the betrayal of the people of LA and Hawaii is so heavy that people can't comprehend it. People can't comprehend that people would do this, but when you're dealing with corporate psychopaths,
it's civil war, bro. It's civil war. Like, these people are literally waging
that's
a
the
war
thing.
against
The
us.
main thing about psychopaths is people
Always have, but it's ramped up.
Is normal, everyday, genuine people don't even believe they exist. Like, they've never actually been in contact with a person who's heavily psychopathic or heavily sociopathic.
Yep.
So they can't even comprehend that type of person even exists. And that's where we get a big problem, because...
Well, with power and money as well. Like, everyone comes across it, but like someone...
And they're more likely to be at the top because they have the capacity to stand on people enough to get up there.
And self-exploitation.
Yeah.
They're like proportionately way better to self-exploit.
So if people aren't able to comprehend them on a small scale, just as like your neighbour or someone killing somebody, you would never think that would happen. People can't comprehend that top corporations could be built on that kind of, with those people at the top. Because you only need a few CEOs or one CEO at the top to think like this for it to like trickle down.
Poisons the whole thing. That's the true trickle down there. It's a true trickle down there.
I guess that's the problem with Western capitalism, is that you do get those people going to the top, and you do have situations where they do what they want.
Yeah, and you may even have people selecting for them as well.
Well, I'd say they would.
Yeah, because someone might own it and want someone operating it in a certain way that's most effective, that doesn't really worry about certain, human dignity, compassion, respect, empathy for other people.
Yeah, because everyone goes on about the war between good and evil, like the religious wars, but really it's actually a fight between the intrinsically psychopathic side of humans.
That's what
and the
satanic
good
is.
side.
Do you know what satanic is?
No.
It's excessive predatory behaviour.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is exactly what these people are up to if they're doing what we think they're doing.
But if you take away the religious element to it, it's really just humans who make choices against other humans.
Well, any of us can be like excessively predatorial. It runs through all of us. That's choice, like evolution. It's part of us.
By choice of human nature. And so you do have to, on a ground level, really consider humans who make choices that hurt other people. Yeah,
it's like selling your soul to the devil symbolically.
Yeah, exactly.
Depends which part you're going to let rule over you, the best part or the worst part of you.
So good versus evil really comes down to quite a simplistic concept, really.
Yeah.
Of humans making choices over others.
Whether it's the front of your brain or the back of your brain.
So you have good...
The snake or the God.
Yeah, and you have...
Because it's literally archetypally.
Good people and bad people at the top as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're running on snake mode. And that's why people say, these reptilians, they're literally...
Blue blood.
Yeah, blue blood.
In a symbolic way.
Symbolically and archetypally.
They don't breathe.
That's what we're looking at.
They don't,
snake in the garden.
Yeah, they don't breathe, and they don't have the same thinking as
No, they sell you up for a bag of
people.
silver, bro. They'll sell you up for a bag of silver every time. That's how it is.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
So we've got to dig deep.
Yeah, good versus evil. It's quite simple, really.
Thanks for talking, Leda.
That's all right.